Hello, hello, hello. Good day, everybody. Depending on where you are listening to me, the name is Adel Olashokoya. It's so good to be here. So, today we are going to be looking at the market, like in our usual manner. We start with DXY. We can see that the dollar index has been pulling back from support, like I mentioned some couple of weeks ago. Last week I was not here. Apology for that. All right, been very busy with some projects. So we saw the dollar index, bottom around that was September, and we have been on our way to the upside ever since, right? Price has been pushing forward since that September when we took this bottom. And of course, the recent US government shutdown, as there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, like I've been mentioning for some time now. And so price has been up and down. Of course, that's what price does, right? So if you look at what price did there, if I want to, let me spread out this trend line. All right, we have like two trend lines there. If you can do this as well. There's one here, that one has been violated. There's another one here has been violated too. That's why I put that one there, like a more like a counter trend line. All right, so price has been pushing to the upside, and then we have this pullback last week. If I go to the weekly time frame, so that we've been having that pullback has been happening, and price has been pulling back. For me, I'm still bearish on the dollar. Why? There's a lot of things pointing to the fact that we should see a further a further pullback. Pardon me, I'm talking in terms of actually in terms of fundamentals. I expect the dollar to fundamentally actually the dollar is bearish, but technically, price is looking like it has bottomed out. As long as this support holds, technically, we might be we might pull back a little bit and then continue to the upside. But fundamentally, the lot of reports that is coming out from the US has not been very good in terms of the jobs report. The fact that the government shutdown, has been on for over a month. They've not been government data has not been released. But even at that, if you look at what has been happening around in the US, you've been seeing a lot of layoff by big corporations like Amazon and the likes. They've been laying off a lot of staff. So I really don't really expect too much good data when they release the job report for October. All right. Having said that, also we are looking at the fact that the Federal Reserve seems to they have mentioned that they'll keep cutting interest rate. One, the secondly, we are entering into the era of quantitative easing. Quantitative easing is a short name, or is a fancy name for money printing. So we'll be having the Federal Reserve print more money. All right. So, and that is also in the book, in the look. So there's a probability that they'll keep printing money. And when they keep printing money for any currency, that currency begins to lose value. So fundamentally, it's looking like we might be on our way down. But I'll be here, I'll be watching the market to see how the market reacts, in the coming weeks. So having said that, let's move on to other instruments. I want us to check gold. Gold pullback. This pullback, a lot of people have been waiting for it, including myself, to see price, pull back a little bit so that we can, jump on a buy. If you ask me, I'm still very, very bullish on gold, super bullish on gold. The world economy is not looking like it's going to change anytime soon. I'm hoping that if we have price, this is on Friday, we have this Thursday and Friday where price pull back. But overall, I'm super bullish on gold. Like I've been mentioning on this channel, any opportunity for a pullback for gold is an opportunity to take a buy position. I'm hoping that if you have price pull back to this zone, to where I have my resistance, my support zone at 3,800, it will be a very good spot to buy. To jump on a buy to the upside for gold. All right, if you go to the 4-hour time frame, you see that although we are still sitting on that support, the pressure coming from here is looking like we might have price breach the support. All right, if price doesn't beat the support, we might be on our way up. But however, if you ask me if I want to be biased, because I have some pending orders around this area, on some of my accounts. I'm expecting price to actually come to this zone, actually, so that I can join that buy train. My stop loss is, below this support. All right. When price comes and breach it and take me out, well, I'll wait. I'll wait again to see if I'll see another opportunity to join the buy train. The truth is, like I always mention, if you're in my group, my Telegram group, if I've not joined that group, it's free. You are leaving a lot of money on the table. We had some tremendous signals last week. I mean, back to back for the past couple of weeks. So if you have not joined, make sure you do so. So I'm moving on. If price breach support at 3,800, like I said, I'll be looking for opportunity to look for another opportunity to buy. But for now, I have some pending orders around the zone, hoping that price will come there. All right. And because that'll be a very good spot to jump on the buy. But if not, we might see price do this, price pull back, and then take out that pending this particular trend line, the one we have there, that counter trend line. Price can bounce around there and do this. Price do that sometimes, all right? And that uptrend will continue. Like I mentioned, we are looking, gold is bullish. I'm super bullish on gold, like I mentioned. All right. So let's look at Bitcoin quickly. Bitcoin has been breaching all supports. And then I can finally say that I think I'm bearish on Bitcoin right now, at least in the short term. Bitcoin, like gold, just like gold, is also a bullish instrument, and overall, as you can see on the weekly time frame, we've been bullish like forever, since like forever. So price has been on the upward trajectory after we see price take off from 16,800 last year, and price has been pushing to the upside. But right now we've been having a lot of break of structure to the downside. As you can see, we broke structure around 1,000, 107,000. As you can see on my screen, we broke structure to the downside, and then the support that everybody's expecting to around 97,000. That support has been taken out. I think the next junction for Bitcoin, as Bitcoin keeps moving downwards, this is the major support around 76,000. So if this support does not hold, then we should be seeing price come to around 48,000. Which is going to be very dangerous. Well, it's going to be very dangerous for people that are still, stock, probably holding. All right. But overall, what Bitcoin has been doing for the past more than 10 years now, since the launch, is that during the bear season, during the crypto bear season, we have price, pull back massively, which is an opportunity for people, that have been trying to get into the to buy some Bitcoin to do so. So for me, if you ask me, if the more price comes down, the better for folks that want to jump on the Bitcoin frenzy. And I think it should be a very good opportunity. If price keeps pulling that. I mean, during the bear season, we've seen Bitcoin do like 70% retracement, 80% retracement, in the past. And then after some time, price bottom out, and then we have this massive move upwards. So for me, I don't panic when I see Bitcoin pull back. I've seen different cycles, and I've seen that is the way Bitcoin plays out. Every time we have this massive pullback, and the price, bottom, and then continuing that uptrend. But I would say that let's check what is happening on currency. We saw pounds hold support at 1.3. I mean, that support still holds. And then on the weekly time frame, you can see that the candle pattern that we are seeing here is a bullish candle, like a bullish reversal. Like this an armor, and then this like a doji that is showing that a weakness with the bears. So it seems like the bulls want to take over. But as long as this support holds, I'll be looking for a buying opportunity on pounds USD right now. Saying, I mean, like somebody say, just trade what you see on the screen. So, but you trade it with sense, right? So as long as this support hold, I'm praying that we have this pullback when market open. Maybe later today. I think the next couple of hours, the market open, and we have price come, around this support. So I'll be taking a buy, and my stop loss will be below this major support to see if price will continue to the upside. But if you look at the weekly time frame, pounds is looking very, very, very good. Like we are sitting on a very strong support. We bounced off 2 weeks ago, and then last week we saw price also uh push up a little bit, forming a doji, signifying that the bears are tired. If you understand candlesticks pattern, the doji tells you that the bears are tired, especially when you sit on the higher time frame, like on the weekly time frame. That should tell you that something is cooking. It seems the bulls want to take over and price wants to push to the upside. However, if you look at Euro USD has been on has been on the upward trajectory since 2 weeks ago. The same pattern, but we have a more bullish volume for Euro USD. So as long as this support holds also for Euro USD, I'll be looking for a buying opportunity. There's no reason fighting the market. The candlestick patterns and support and resistance, major things, price action already tells you that price is about to continue to that upward direction. So I'll just be looking for a pullback to this discount zone. If I see a very sweet pullback to this discount zone, I'll be shooting for a buy. That's one way you can trade it. Another way you can join that bullish trend is to have your counter trend line drawn out properly. I mean, this is already violated. If you look at it from that angle, from this angle, that has been violated. So we can have another one that looks like this, like so. All right. So if our price pullback, I mean breakout. So two ways I'm gonna be trading this. If I see price pull back to the downside, like so, I see price come to this zone, bounce off this counter trend line or come completely to this zone and bounce back. So once I see price start, creating support again, I'll be jumping on the buy. All right, that's one way. Another way I can trade is I want to trade this if I see price violate this counter trend line, this new one I just draw it, and then I see price pull out and then break and retest, and I see another retest, I'll be jumping on the buy. All right. So those are the two ways I'm going to be joining this trade. So let me quickly look at one more instrument before we call it a day. I want to look at NAS. NAS also, which is Nasdaq 100, has been sitting on sale. We saw it bounce off from this support at 24,000. All right, if I go to the weekly, it's looking like it's bearish. I mean, there's a lot of like on the weekly time frame, however, it's looking so bearish. Like we have a pullback and then we have a doji. But like I mentioned, if you've been following me on this channel, there are some instrument I stay away from selling and or trying to pick the top because they are perpetually bullish. If you look at what price has been doing ever since we bounced off from me, I think this was around let me confirm. I think this was in April, when we bounced off from there. Price has been super bullish. So that any pullback is an opportunity to jump on a buy. All right, you see that, you can see that all everywhere. So as long as this support holds, I will not be shouting that it's time to sell. All right. I will not even be dreaming of selling it because it's better to be on the bullish side of this story than trying to sell. So I'll just wait to see what price will do. Price pull back properly on the daily time frame, and I see a very good support. Like we can see here, price pullback, and there's 1 year, there's a major pullback, and then we continue to the upside. This is another pullback. Now we bounce off like this. I mean, this is like double bottom around 24,500. So this is a very significant support in the medium and short term. All right. So one more instrument I'm going to look at. I want to look at the JPYs. The Japanese yen has been battered, in the last couple of weeks. We've been seeing price jumping off and and all that. So I'm still very bearish on the Japanese yen. But right now, pounds JPY price seems to be battling with the resistance around 203. All right, so I will not be jumping on the buy. You don't forget the rule that I always say on this channel. You don't buy at the resistance and you don't sell at the support. All right, you want to wait for price to come to you before you jump on the buy. All right. So if you have not subscribed to this channel, ensure you do so. And like I mentioned earlier, if you have not joined our free Telegram group, make sure you do so. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you.